When you start a LinkedIn Live, you gotta dance just a little bit. The first few seconds really count. That what's gonna make people stay. L'chaim, l'chaim, l'chaim in Yerushalayim. I wonder if I can go on LinkedIn Live, Facebook Live, YouTube Live at the same time, and then go live again at the same time, and then go live again at the same time. I don't know why that thought just entered my head. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, have you ever reviewed a list of people, say 500 people, and identified who you recognize, who's strategic for you, who's your ideal client? Have you ever gone through a list of 500 people? You might think it takes a really long time, but it really doesn't. And today I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So if you're live, just write, Joe, I'm watching live. I'd love to see the little chat bubble come up here, and I'm going to check from time to time to see if anybody has questions about anything that I'm sharing. But I'm going to share my screen in just a moment. Today's topic is, I wanted to talk about this yesterday, but I got a call and then I had to run and it was like a whole thing happening. And so I couldn't make it. But today's topic is as follows. Could you imagine if you could message every single one of your LinkedIn connections, all of your relationships, you're able to message every single one of them, but not with a mass message, with a message that resonates for them, that's customized to them. Imagine if you had the capability of doing that. Imagine you had the opportunity for you to connect with every individual in your network and identify the ones that you need to progressively put into the strategic bucket, the ones that you need to prioritize having a meeting with, the ones that you need to remove, the ones that are gone. Get out of my network, leave my network. They're not real. They don't answer you, or they're negative, or they're not relevant anymore, or they died. Sometimes people die and they don't need to be in your address book anymore. Like, ask yourself, do you have your great grandparents in your address book? Not relevant, right? They don't need to be in your address book. Some people still keep relics in their closet. I call them hoarders. And it's okay to hoard. It's okay. I have no problem with you hoarding. Really. I really don't. Can you call them and let them know? Okay, so let's dig in. Let's share my screen and dig in and kind of just show you a couple things. But first, I want to know, if you're watching me live, just hit I'm watching you live in the chat. I'm curious to know who's watching me live. I'm also going to open up Facebook real quick just to kind of have it open. So I got my Facebook on my left, my LinkedIn on my right, and you're going to see the way that I share my screen now so you can see everything that I'm doing. Share screen, entire screen, click, share, boom. All right, so you should see my whole screen right now. Boom. You should see my whole screen right now. So you see the way LinkedIn, Facebook shows that it's only my friends. I'm going to hit public so anybody can see me. I just hit public right here. I'm going to like my own post on Facebook, and I'm going to say, I am watching you live right now. Okay, so I'm watching myself live right now. So I'm watching you live right now. Okay, so this is what Facebook looks like. This is what LinkedIn looks like. So when you go on live on LinkedIn, let me show you what that looks like real quick. As you can see, I have 51,338 followers right now. Look how many birthdays there are on Facebook. I'm trying to scroll down here. Let's see if we can scroll down to where the posts are and see how that post came out. It's still loading. LinkedIn takes so much more time to load. Okay, here it is. I'm going to click on show all posts. And let's see what that looks like here. Let's see what that looks like. All right, so I'm going to hit like. I'm going to hit like this. And I'm going to say, I am live on LinkedIn. It looks like we have 2 people watching. Do we really have 2 people watching? If you do, hover over here like this and give it a light bulb. I'm going to click on this little piece here. I'm going to change to Evie AI. I'm going to hit change. Then I'm going to give it a heart like that. And I'm going to say, well done. Okay. So you see I commented and liked with my own company page. And I can switch to another company page here. So for example, I could switch to Ajax Union, press save. Then I can hover over the like button. I could hit the light bulb. So now I got myself 3 likes. I'm going to say check out www.ajaxunion.com. And I press comment. See what I did there? I just left a comment on my own post with ajaxunion.com. Now I want to give myself another like. I'm going to click on here. I'm going to click on Evergreen Networking. And I'm going to say the following. Check out www.evergreen.com. Okay, so now I promoted Evergreen. I gave myself a bunch of likes. You see I'm getting more and more popular. I'm going to give myself a heart. And now we just gone up to 5 likes. So we have 5 likes, 4 comments. They were all left by me and my battalion of company pages. If you think that's awesome, write awesome in the chat. Let's see if anybody else commented on my live. I want to make sure that I know I have an audience here. And if I don't have an audience, that's fine. I'll just do it anyway because of the replay. Look at that. Look what Michael Whitehouse just said. He said, when I email them every day, when I email every day, but live, not often. Okay, I'm gonna like try to go live and see what happens. Okay, James says, when I walk downtown with a sign and 100 eyeballs can see me, but do they read the sign? That's a good question. They might read it if it says something that is relevant. Insane. Okay. All right, let's see. So if you're on LinkedIn Live and you want to be able to see the most recent comments, you click on most recent, and then you can see all the most recent comments. You see that? It loads all the most recent comments just like that. All right, so let me show you how to be able to message all of your connections relatively quickly. I'm going to share with you a couple things, but the website I want you to check out when you get a chance, this post is not eligible to be boosted. I wonder why not. I wonder why I can't boost my own post. That's so weird. Let me see. Oh, look at that. We have some stuff in the chat over here. I am watching you live right now. Okay, that came from Facebook. That was me. All right. I'm going to click on notification. This is really slow. Really, really slow. Over here, I said, how often do you use Google each day? Are you using ChatGPT more than Google? And I got 1 like from Behablin. So let's go into my network. And I'm going to teach you how to send your entire network messages. So I'm going to click on connections. You can see I'm at my limit of 30,000 connections. I'm going to load up all of my connections. I just loaded up all of my connections. Kimberly Foss is my latest connection from yesterday. And I'm going to say, thank you for connecting with me. I'm going to use Evie AI to help me write up the message. I'm going to use the sidebar extension. As you can see, there's a little sidebar over here. And this is going to be the new way that we do things. I'm going to click on Facebook. I'm actually going to click on, so you can choose any persona you want. So I can choose a persona related to DMing people if I want, or I could just choose a standard Joe Apfelbaum persona. I can provide value in the DM. So I click in here, it automatically says message. You see that? I can select my goal. My goal would be, say, thank you for connecting. Thank you for engagement. Gratitude for connecting. I hit generate, and it's going to be gratitude for connecting. Thank you for accepting my connection request. I'm excited to learn about the opportunity to learn from your experiences. What insights or ideas are you currently exploring in your field? I press up, it goes right in here. I press send, and I was just able to DM her just like that. Now, I like looking at people's profiles just to get an idea of what they're up to. So I clicked on her profile, and it shows that she's in California. She has 10,000 followers. You see that? And she just posted 2 minutes ago. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the post where she posted 2 minutes ago. And I'm going to identify. It says she was born in Auburn, California, a town funded during the gold rush. One of Auburn's original settlers was my great-great-grandfather, Daniel Austin Rice, and the first Wells Fargo agent in Sacramento Valley. Okay, that's her story. And she's a senior wealth advisor. So she's like, oh, I did this. My whole family did this for a long time. Interesting. Now, if I want to leave a comment with Evie AI, I can use the sidebar, or I can use the standard Evie AI pop-up box. Eventually, we're only going to use the sidebar. We're moving all the way to the sidebar. But for right now, it's such an important topic. Creating a family legacy through charitable giving could be I appreciate how you laid it out. Okay, so you see the way I'm the only one that will ever comment on this post. The only one. Nobody will ever comment on this post. And it's because this person didn't do this correctly. She did it incorrectly. And as a result of doing it incorrectly, I'm the only one that will ever comment on her post, period. So if you're not using Evie AI, I highly recommend you use Evie AI because it'll help you do all the things that you need to do correctly. Also, the way that she featured her post over here, everything she's doing here is incorrect. Doesn't have any recommendations. There's a lot of stuff here that she needs to correct. But the way my strategy is when I'm building relationships with people. So say for example, I'm going to pull up this LinkedIn connection thing over here. So here I have a thing called connections.csv. I'm going to go to my Google Drive, and I'm going to open up the LinkedIn connections. Let's see, I'm going to, instead of type, let me see if I could do most recent. My Drive. If I could pull up the most recent, last modified by me. See if I can go in here. I'm going to do type. We're going to do sheets. Last modified by me. Last modified by me, and we're going to do it down. All right, so we have a bunch of these over here. Yeah, these are the ones that I have last modified by me. But I thought I put something into the dashboard. I thought I dropped this into the, oh, here it is. This connections.csv file. I don't know what happened to it. It closed. Okay, so I'm going to go here. I'm going to delete these three. Delete rows. So you create a list of all of your connections. So you'll know if you message every single one of them. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to freeze the first row here. And I could build this out for you. Just say I need a dashboard, and I'll build out a dashboard for you pretty quickly. But these are all of the connections. So I'm going to call this Wallace, because this is Wallace's connections. I'm going to say Wallace, LinkedIn connections dashboard. I'm going to call it Evie AI Pro, LinkedIn connections dashboard. And I'm going to go to the very end. I'm going to pull up just a random person from the very end. This is the first person he ever connected to. And as you can see, Wallace is one of my mutual connections. This is Wallace's connections. Okay, so I'm going to hit share. I'm going to say Wallace. And I'm going to say, let's discuss this dashboard today. Okay, I'm going to press send, share anyway. So I just shared with Wallace his Evie AI Pro LinkedIn Connections dashboard. So if you don't have a dashboard, highly recommend that you create one. This is Virginia's dashboard. This is what it looks like. And I like to, for each person, I like to identify who they recognize. So who's strategic for their business. So I'm going to do Control Home. I'm going to hit Control C, Control V. And then this way we could quickly filter for all the right people. This makes my life so much easier. So the first thing you need is a dashboard. So my question to you is, do you have a dashboard or do you need a dashboard? So if you have a dashboard, what you can do is you can create something called a pivot table in your dashboard to identify all the people that have the first names, the same first names. Okay, so I'm going to paste this just like that. Control Z. I'm going to go back to here. Control C. Control V. Then we're going to do view, freeze, row 1, Heavy AI Pro, LinkedIn Connections, dashboard. Okay, and I'll share this with Glenn. And over here on the connected on thing, I'm going to change the format to, instead of, let's see, format number, we're going to do date like this. And then we'll be able to properly filter this out. Yeah, she has 3,600 people here. So we'll be able to properly filter this out. And let's see what who his first connection is over here. Let's check. His first connection is John. You see Glenn is a connection. So I'm going to go to Glenn, pull up his profile, and then I'm going to say made you a dashboard. I'm going to message him. Let's see if it loads. Let's see if it loads. It takes forever to load LinkedIn on my computer. LinkedIn has slowed down so significantly. I clicked on it twice, so it's opening twice. I'm going to try to close one of them. Yeah, so Kimberly, so it looks like Glenn loaded. I'm going to say, he's like, love your efforts building a community. Made you a dashboard. Ready for it? Okay. So I want you to learn to build curiosity when it comes to doing whatever you need to do. Build curiosity. Stephen Green is on. He said, hey, Joe Apple, I'm on the live right now. Let's see which version. He's on the Facebook Live. So let's pull up the Facebook Live. And I am going to check out what he said here on Facebook Live. Oh, and I'm going to like it. And I'm going to say, thanks for being live. All right, let's see. Thank you for being live. Okay, that's cool. I'm going to X out of this. All right, so, you could see because it's round and it says live on it. When I'm live, it's round and it says live. That's cool. So if I'm live and I'm active while I'm live, for example, this was a nice live. Let's see what happens. I posted 100 people, blah, blah, blah. Thank you for having me. Carol Register. Okay, so I just commented and mentioned her just like that. All right. So let's, and he mentioned me in a comment. Let's see what he wrote. Okay, so I just closed that out. So how do you message all of your connections? What do you need to do to message all of your connections? The first thing you want to do is identify segments of your connections that you're going to message. There are many ways to identify segments. You can identify segments by name. For example, I'm going to do Control 0. I'm going to do, let's say, Kimberly. So I have a bunch of Kimberlys here that I'm connected to. So I can craft a message for every single Kimberly. So here's how I message every single Kimberly. Hi, Kimberly, how you doing? I'm going to send her a message from Evie AI. So Evie AI has templates, and we're going to be doing a template party with my good friend, Steve. But I have a template party that we're going to do. I'm going to send her this right over here. And then I'm going to say, this is an example poll that helps me identify which one of my connections are actually active on LinkedIn. You see that? Steve says, did you see I have flexibility in prioritizing as well? I'm going to say yes. Let's see. Cliff says, I'll check out the demo later. I'm going to say sure thing. This guy's sending me some BS over here, so I'm going to promote my poll to him. Josh Tab said, checked out Evie AI. Looks like a tool for boosting profiles and engagement. I think it's a great opportunity for us to collaborate. We specialize in building referral programs to drive B2B companies. You're all seeing on Evie. Let's see what we can work out together. I'm going to press send. I'm going to send this guy this. What's your sell? Okay, so now what I actually want to do is I'm going to hit load more. Is I actually want to get the Influencer Summit DM here in place and then go back to my network. Now, it should automatically, when I click on message, it shouldn't leave the message. It should just pop open the message there. But it looks like there's a new feature that they no longer allow you to just message people through the message box, which is super annoying. I want to be able to click message and just message the person right here, but it's not happening. Let me click on this. Yeah, that's not happening anymore. Yeah, that's annoying. I'm going to say Kimberly. Control A, Control C. Okay, so I'm going to send, let's see, congrats on 19 years at Posh Glam. She's the founder of Chat for Charity. Okay. I'm going to go back. I wonder if I control click on this. No, it didn't work. It did not work. Let's see. Hey, Sarah Dill, I'm doing this. Do you know a hack to stop LinkedIn from randomly hiding my responses? My inbox is rather busy. So I've been using the filter unread, but I realized I missed messages in some way. Then it shows me the messages that are unread. Would love to chat. All the best. Okay. So Kimberly wants to chat. I got to book a meeting with her. I'm going to book a meeting with Kimberly. Me and Kimberly met on the cruise. I'm going to go back and see if it shows me the Kimberlys. Look, it still shows me all the Kimberlys here. So I could still message each person. I just can't do it in the same way that we did it before. It opens up this. So this will be the workflow. And then I send the message. And then I press the back button. And then I click on the next one. It creates a new message. I see the history. I see what we spoke about. I send it. And then I just go back. Okay, so it's a little bit slower than before because it has to load the new message thread thing. Kimberly Stone, I already messaged her. Kimberly Cropper. Now, if I want to disconnect from somebody, I first would message them. Let's just see. Joe, thank you so much for responding. I manage the Phil Maryland Department of Health headquarters. I do a lot of sourcing. I have a specific questions. Can you tell me again the name of the app? Okay, so she hasn't responded to me since then. Okay, I'm going to click on Kimberly Sullivan Mitchell. Do you see the way I'm messaging everybody just like that? Hi, Kimberly. Hope your year's off to a great start. Some of these people I haven't messaged in several years. But now that I have this strategy, I can go through and load up every single message I ever sent and make sure that I never miss out even one connection. Now, this Kimberly over here has not responded to me. Hey, Joe, I was on the webinar, very informative, very entertaining too. She left me a nice recommendation. So I don't want to remove this connection because then it'll remove the recommendation she left me. Okay, Kimberly Stone, Kimberly Sullivan, Kimberly Connolly, Kimberly Foss, I just messaged, Kimberly Whittle. Okay, I sent her a message back in 2021. We haven't really spoken since then. Kimberly Sevilla. Let's see if she messaged me. Okay, so it hasn't been since November. Let's see what Steve says over here. I said yes. Okay, moving back. Kimberly Sevilla. By the way, if you guys want to join me live right now, let's see if there's anything else that I missed. Feel free to tune in and join me live. Let's see, Kimberly Steed. I haven't messaged her since 2024. Let's see if she's ever responded to anything. So she's never responded. She's a VP of marketing at Hercules Systems. So I'm going to go find the VP of marketing at Hercules Systems. Let's see. VP of marketing, and I'm going to click on these three dots and I'm going to hit remove connection. Remove. I'm going to start removing people that don't respond to me after a while because it's just wasting my space. There's a limited amount of space that you have. So you see I messaged this person. She messaged me back once in 2015. And then after that, I messaged her a few times. She hasn't responded to me. So it's time to remove her. So how do you remove her? Go to Kimberly Addison. Scroll down like this. You find Kimberly Addison Schofield. Click on the three dots and remove. It's not hard to do. You just got to do it. They're part of MJH, which is a client that hired me. And she's been responding to me, so that's good. So I'm definitely going to send her that message. And you could see I'm almost done with all my Kimberlys. You have a limited amount of Kimberlys that you're connected to, right? So the strategy is message every one of your Kimberlys, and you'll know that you covered all your Kimberlys. How many unique first names do you have on your connections? I call this the first name strategy because this will guarantee that you message every single one of your connections that have a unique name like Kimberly. Now, there are going to be randos that don't have any of these names, but that's also a list. It's a list of randos. You see that? So I message all the Kimberlys, and then once I'm done all the Kimberlys. I know that I covered every single Kimberly. Now, what I'll find is that as I'm messaging these people, I'll have, so I did the research. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second. I did the research and I found that I have 500 unique names that have more than 10 people per first name. That's 500 names. So if I do 10 first names per day, it'll take me 10 days to be able to get through 100, 20 to be able to go through, if I do 10 a day, 10 first names a day. So every 10 days, you go through 100. If you want to do 500, it's going to take you, let's say, 2 months, and you went through all of your 500 names. Now, you might not have 500 unique first names. Maybe you'll have, let's say, 100 unique names. Maybe you're targeting women because your women are your ideal clients, or you're targeting men, and you can identify with ChatGPT. You can throw in all those first names into ChatGPT or Claude or Anthropic or any of the AIs, and it'll basically just help you identify who the first names are. And you just have to search those first names. First names tell you a story about. They tell you maybe what city or country their origin is from. You can learn a lot about first names, their ethnicity. There's a lot of, let's say, for example, I wanted to find out who are all the people that are likely to be Jewish in my connections list, or specifically Orthodox Jewish, very religious Jewish. I was able to identify all the Shleimis and the Yoelis and the Shmuels and the Zalmans and the Abrahams, like finding those people. I wanted to find the people that are Christian or the people that are Muslim. I was able to find all the Christian and Muslim names. That doesn't mean that somebody named Christopher is Christian, but it's likely if someone's name is Paul or Christopher, those names are Christian names typically. Nicholas. If you want to find people that are Russian, maybe you want to look for Boris or Dmitry. or Ukrainian, people that are German. So different people have different first names. Think of some Spanish first names, for example, people that speak specific languages, or Japanese first names, or Korean first names. You'll find in your connections a segment of population that you're connected to pretty quickly. And you'll be able to identify those people, and you'll be able to message those people. And just like you saw, I messaged all the Kimberleys on a list. You can find all the first names, and then you do it systematically over a period of time, and you'll be able to get through all of your connections. And that's one way to do it. You can also document it in your sheet and open one profile at a time. I find that when you open up a profile on LinkedIn, it takes a lot longer than if you just message people through the My Network tab. I don't know if that's helpful to you. It's certainly helpful for me as I'm promoting the LinkedIn Influencer Summit. And if you haven't checked out the LinkedIn Influencer Summit, I highly recommend you check it out. It's influencersummit2025.com. And I would love to explore and show you some more things that I'm up to here. But I'm curious to know, what are you up to? What are your goals? What are you looking to achieve? Are you looking for more clients? Are you looking for more referrals? Are you looking for more engagement, more exposure? Tell me what you're trying to achieve right now in the comments as I continue to browse here. Michael, what's going on, Michael? By the way, Michael, did you know that I have 500 people on my LinkedIn that begin with the word Michael, with the name Michael? So what I'm going to do now is I'll show you all the Michaels I'm connected to, Michael, and see where you stand on the list of 500 Michaels. And I'll also teach you how to be able to find all your Michaels. You guys want to see how to find all your Michaels? I'm going to pull up my connections list. And if anybody wants my list of connections, I'm going to be making my list of LinkedIn connections available for everybody. So if you want to go through my list of LinkedIn connections, I'm going to put it in the community. Michael. I'm going to just go to Joe Applebaum and LinkedIn connections. I'm going to open up my LinkedIn connections. And I'll just quickly show you how I can find all the Michaels that I'm connected to by month, by year. So check this out. How many Williams? Okay, we'll check how many Williams, William. Let me just share my screen so I can show you. And if you need a dashboard, say I need a dashboard in the chat, and I'll be more than happy to send you details about how you can get your own LinkedIn Connections dashboard. But let me share my full screen. I'm sharing my full screen right now. Okay. This is what my screen looks like. This is my connections dashboard. We're going to be integrating this into Evie AI very soon. Right now, we're having the team work on the side panel. But if I click on first name, and then I click on this create a filter button, I can filter out right over here anything that is not Michael. So I'm going to say Michael, and I'm going to press select all and press OK. And let's just see how many Michaels we have. Let's see how many Michaels we have. Michael. Oh, these are only my 2025s. So I have 55 Michaels that I connected with. It looks like in 2025. Let me just filter all this out. Oh, I have multiple filters on this. Okay, let me delete the filters, reopen up the filters on this. I'm going to do this again. Clear all. Michael. Select all 53 Michaels. And let's just see how many Michaels we have. 571 Michaels. So I'm going to hit Control A, Control C. I'm going to hit Control N. And I'm going to do sheets.new. And let's go in here and paste all this in. Okay, perfect. All right, these are all the Michaels that I have. So I'm going to say Michaels connected to Joe Apfelbaum on LinkedIn. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on share. And then I'm going to say anyone with a link can see this. And I'm going to press done so that you guys can access this. So if you want to see this list of Michaels, I'm going to click on 572. And then I'm going to right click here and I'm going to hit delete. And check this out. Look how many Michaels are here. Wow, that's a lot of Michaels. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all these Michaels, these 500 Michaels, and I'm going to put them into a post on LinkedIn. Actually, I'm going to go like here. And I'm going to say, I'm going to take a screenshot. So this is how you take a screenshot. Let's see if I can take a screenshot. All right, later. Screenshot. Okay. And I'm going to go here and I'm going to blur. I'm going to blur parts of this. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go here like this. And I'll blur, but I'll blur like that, like that, like that. Oh, pixelated. Pixelated is good. I'm going to say how many Michaels? How many Michaels are you connected to? Tag a few. Okay, I'm going to right click on this, connected. How many Michaels are you connected to? Tag a few. That rhymes. All right, now I'm going to click on File, Save As, and I'm going to say Michael, and save. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to LinkedIn, and I'll go to linkedin.com. I'm also going to go to Evie AI. I'm going to click on Start a New Post. So I'm using Evie AI to help me write this post right now. So how am I going to do it? Inside LinkedIn, I'm going to click on this little thing here. And then I'm going to say, ask a question. I'm going to say motivational tone. And then I'm going to say Joe Apfelbaum, let's see, optimize persona. I have 572 people by the name of Michael that I'm connected to on LinkedIn right now. And I'm going to attempt to mention all of the Michaels I'm connected to in the comments, but I'm curious to know how many Michaels are you currently connected to on LinkedIn? I feel like that is a large number of people with the same first name to be connected to. I wonder if you also have a lot of Michaels. And also let me know if you need a LinkedIn connections dashboard. This is how I'm able to determine how many people I have with the same first name. And I have a lot of amazing things that I can do with a dashboard now that we have artificial intelligence. So let's chat about segmenting our connections and building meaningful relationships with people. And I'm going to say the art of personalization is the art of using people's first name when doing outreach, but doing it methodically and strategically. Okay. And I'm going to hit generate. And let's just see what it writes as a post. It's going to come up with a LinkedIn post that has a hook, main points, a call to action, and hashtags. And if I like the post, have you ever stopped to wonder how many people you know with the same first name? I recently discovered that I'm connected to in a world where connections are everything. How do we stand out? Sequelize and personalization. Ooh, this is really good. Okay, so I'm going to press insert. And then I'm going to add this image. By the way, if you like this post idea, just write in the chat, I like this post idea. I'm going to use it. I'm going to click M for Michaels. And I'm going to find this screenshot that I just did. So if you did this once a day, if you did this once a day, it would change your life completely. This would change your life completely if you did this once a day. Posting like this. Let's share insights on networking together. If you're interested in learning more about it, drop a link below. Your connection are your greatest asset. So how many Michaels do you have in your network? Okay. And then I'm going to go here and I'm going to put in the ones that I know. So if I have 500 of them, how many do I actually have a relationship with? So the first thing I would do is I would go in here. I would do insert one column. I would do insert one column left here, and I would do recognize. And then I would just go through yes or no. So I'm just going to do yes to all the people that I actually know, that I know, like that I totally recognize off the top of my head. It looks like we have 2 Michael Copeland Juniors, which is interesting. We'll just choose the first one. I'm going to remove one of them. I'm going to have to remove one of them. Michael Moran, Michael Clemens, Michael Bonefields, Michael Hennessy. Let's see, Michael Crutch, Michael Flood. Let's see, Michael Ann Thomas, who, by the way, is a woman with the name Michael. Michael Deutsch, Michael Abophilia. Actually, not going to mention Michael Abophilia. Michael Wilkinson, Michael Robbins, Michael Padilli, Michael Pace, Michael Hops. Let's see. I don't know. I don't really know Michael Hops well. I'm not going to mention Michael Hops. But let's see if we can get all the Michaels in order. And all the Michaels that I don't know, I want to reduce the amount of Michaels that I'm connected to because there's so many Michaels. Michael Kleinberg. Let's see. Michael Esposito. Let's see. Michael Neely. Michael Hoffman sounds so familiar. Michael Stein. Michael, so you see the way I'm going through Michael Schatzberg for sure, Michael Pensabeni for sure, Michael Solomon. Let's see, Michael Valentino, Michael K. Let's see, Michael Weinstein, Michael Blood, Michael Russo, Michael O'Hara, Michael Peck, Michael Berg, Michael Gross. Look how many Michaels there are. This is insane. Now you can filter and sort by last name. Michael Zuprinsky, Michael Stein. Let's see, Michael Raps for sure, Michael Wine for sure. See, I'm already up to 183, and I did it pretty quickly. See, it doesn't take that long to go through these. Michael Perry, Michael Goldberg. I have multiple Michael Goldbergs that I know. Michael Brumberg, Michael Steinberg. Let's see. Michael Phelps. I know Michael Phelps. Michael Ramos. Michael Nash. Michael Hyatt. Of course, Michael Hyatt. He wrote many books. Very popular guy. Michael Wenger. Michael Levy. Car Guys. Don't know him. Michael LaRose. Michael Schwartzberg. Michael Smith. I know a few Michael Smiths. Michael Carter. Let's see. Michael Simpson. Michael Clark. Michael Pignato. So I'm going to go through all these Michaels. I'm not going to be able to go through them all at once, but I am down to 300 Michaels. So Michael Bendit for sure. I'm only really looking for 25 Michaels that I could mention in the post. Michael Kempter, Michael Xavier, another Michael Goldberg. Let's see, Michael Lawrence. Michael O'Connor, Michael Amar, Michael Marks, Michael Webb, Michael Alexander, Michael Mursky. Wow, these are people from 2018. Michael Burns, Michael Korn, Michael Ganzel. Let's see. Michael Mansour, Michael Steinman. We're almost done. Michael Russell. Let's see. Michael Maltagati. Let's see. Who else we have here? Michael Scott. From The Office, of course. Michael Crawford. Michael Marchese. I don't know who Michael Marchese is. Michael Elliott. Michael Rosenblatt from Quest. Of course, Michael Levin. Michael Batalha. Michael Kleinberg. I thought I saw Michael Kleinberg up there also. Michael Simmons. Michael Dorf. Michael Bruce. Michael Ferrante. Michael Moskowitz. Michael Sininsky. Let's see. Michael Onagi. I haven't spoken to him in a million years. Michael Wilds, immigration lawyer. Let's see. Michael Stegman from Rush King. Ooh, it's been a while, since 2013. Oh my God. Let's see. Michael Rosenblum. Michael Hoffman. Well, it looks like we have multiple people that have the same names. Michael Altman. And then Michael Perter-Buterthal. I know him, but I'm not going to. Michael Klopman. Michael Libor. Michael Dominsky. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the way top, and then we're going to click on freeze row 1, and then we're just going to simply segment all these out that say yes on them. Let's see how many yeses we have. We have 56 yeses. So now we're going to ask ourselves, which one are strategic for my business? So I'm going to click one column right, and I'm going to say strategic. So now we only have 50 to go through. So I'm going to say yes to the ones that are strategic to my business. Michael Dorfman's a yes. Michael Moran's a yes. Michael Bonfils is yes. Michael Hennessy is yes. Michael Crutch and Michael Flood is a yes. Michael Ann Thomas is a yes. Michael Dosch, Michael Kleinberg, Michael Esposito, Michael Neely, Michael Schatzberg, Michael Pensabene, Michael Raps. This is not the Michael Goldberg that I want, so I'm going to skip it. Michael Schwartzberg, Michael Bendit, Michael Kempner. I'm going to keep going down. Michael Genzel, Michael Rosenblatt, Levin, Batalha, Kleinberg, Simmons, Dubinsky. Let's see. Sinitsky, Ferrante, Bruce, Libor for sure, Klopman for sure. All right, let's just see how many we have here. And we're just going to put in Goldberg because I have a Michael Goldberg that I want to mention. Let's just see how many we have here. Good, 32. That's perfect. That's still too many. So I'm going to undo the blanks. I'm going to hit yes. And now we have 32 out of the 50 that I want to mention. So I'm going to go in here, copy these names, go into the post. Here are a few of the 572 that I want to honor. And then I just paste. Now I hit Control Z because it came out like garbage. I hit Control Shift V, and then it'll paste it in nicely. Hopefully it won't crash my whole computer. Okay, you see the way it pasted it in nicely? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tag each one. I'm going to click on Michael Copeland like that. I'm going to click on Michael Dorfman like that. I'm going to do them one at a time. That's 32 times I'm going to do this. Michael Moran, Michael Bonifils, Michael Hennessy, Michael. Okay, so Michael Hennessy didn't let me tag. So I'm going to delete Michael Hennessy from here. Michael Crouch, Michael Ann Thomas, Michael Deutsch. You might be asking me, Joe, why are you doing this? And the answer is because this is an easy way for me to stay top of mind with 30 people and with my whole network. And also for me to analyze who are the people that I actually have a relationship with or that are strategic for my business. I just showed you a way that I'm able to do it for 500, go through 500 names relatively quickly, all with the same name, Michael. Now I'm going to send every one of these Michaels a message about the Influencer Summit as well. And that's 500 of my 30,000. So these people take up a very large percentage, more than, I would say, 2%. About 2% of my connections are Michaels. So I want to make sure that I honor them. And some of them are current clients, some of them are potential clients, some of them are friends. So these are people that know me already. I have 31 of these. I'm probably going to delete one. This is the wrong Michael Goldberg that I tagged, but that's fine because Michael didn't come up because he has a punching bag on his hand. Michael Rosenblatt, Michael Rosenblatt, Michael Levin. You see that? Ghostwriter. Michael Batalha. Haven't talked to him in some time. I'm going to call him. Probably going to call him and ask him if he's okay with me tagging him in the future. I'm going to show you guys something cool. Once I finish tagging all these people, if I want to tag them again in the future, I could simply just, save all these mentions onto a website called Mention Saver. And if you want the Mention Saver information, say, Joe, send me the Mention Saver URL. I built a Mention Saver for EviAI, Michael Sinitsky. And every single time someone leaves a comment on this post, all these 31 Michaels will get notified. How crazy is that? Michael Libor, and then Michael Mati Dembinski. Boom. Okay, and I'm going to say tag, and now I'm going to go here, and I'm going to say post. Well, before I post, I want to just copy all these mentions. Let's see. Yeah. Here are a list of 30. Here are a list of 31 of the 572 that I want to honor. Now let's just see if this will work. It might be too much. It might be too much. I did 31. Boom, it worked. It worked. It worked. It worked. Okay, let's just see what happens now. Oh my God, it worked. That's amazing. So I can go through all of these and you guys can check this out. And if you want my full list of 500, please let me know. Say, Joe, I want your full list of 500. But now I'm going to go to strategy.eviai.com/mention saver, and I'm going to save all my Michaels right here. You see? Boom. Save. Now I have it here. If I want to mention them anywhere else, I can simply just copy this and then paste it into any post. And now I can mention all the Michaels. And I can build out all 500 in groups of 30 like this. So I can take all the people that are yes for recognize, but that are no for strategic, and I can still mention them. And I can do that relatively quickly on this post. I love that. I love that. I love that, love that, love that. All right, I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second. What did you guys get out of that? How many Williams? I need a dashboard, Michael said. Michael, I'm going to get you a dashboard. Let's chat about that. Was this fun? Write fun in the chat if you guys had fun with me. I was on LinkedIn Live. So the way that you want to be strategic is figuring out segments of your connections, segments of, let's say, 100, 200, 500 of people. I would recommend keeping it to a few dozen at a time that you're going to hit up based on who they are, based on a segment that you created by segmenting your connections. So having a dashboard and then segmenting out all your connections can help you be able to strategically mention people at the same time, be able to know who you want to remove and who you want to add and what you want to do. And so I'm going to make sure that I really own the Michaels that I'm connected to, and I understand all the Michaels that I'm connected to. But I have many other connections that I have that are all different connections from all different forms of life. I'll give you an example. If I look at my pivot table for all my connections and I want to know how many Williams I'm connected to, Control F, William, I connected to 60 Williams, 60. So much easier than the 572 Michaels. Actually, you know what? I just realized that I have more Davids that I'm connected to than Michaels. So I might do the same post. So I have David, Michael, John, Mark, Daniel, Chris, Jason, and Mike. And by the way, Mike has 188. And Scott and Joseph and Brian. So here are the top, let's see, 15. It's all men. Isn't it crazy for the most part? The top, let's see, Dan, Jonathan, the top 23 are men. The top, let's see, 30. Wow. The top 30 are men. I'm connected to so many men. The top 30, well, the first one is Jennifer, and the top 35 first names of my connections represent 6,128 men. Men. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that insane? It's all a bunch of men. This is also known as a sausage fest. Write that down on Facebook right now as a comment. I want you to write the word sausage fest down. I'm going to write it. Sausage fest. Somebody told me that represents, I don't know why, but someone told me that represents a list of men. So if you ever have a list of men or in a room or whatever, it's a big sausage fest. That's what they said. I'm like, okay, thank you. That's a great way of saying a lot of men. So I have 6,100 men, but it's only 35 names. Wow. Wow. I'm blown away by that. So let me pick the first 35 names. Till the word Jennifer. 35 names. So 35 men. So Jennifer, and then there's Jennifer, Mark, Lisa, Joel, Peter, Anthony, Jim, and then it goes down to Sarah. So, and then Rachel, Nick, Jessica, Richard, Jeffrey, Stephen, Tim, Avi, Jacob, Jack, and so on. So I'm going to say the first 35 men. Wow. First 35 men represent over 6,000. So let's put that in the chat right now. I'm going to pop it in the chat. New posts. Why your sales aren't working. Let me just leave a comment for Julia. Julia, I'm going to leave you a comment. A motivational, friendly comment that builds rapport. That's what I'm going to do. Love this, Julia. So inspiring to see women supporting each other in sales. Okay. By the way, do you guys like when I share my screen, or do you prefer if you just see my face? Because my videographer says he prefers when he just sees my face. He's like, I don't need you to see your screen. I just want to see your face. Margot. I wonder how many Margos I'm connected to. Margot, how many Margos are you connected to? Margot. Let me see. Control F. Margot. Oh, I don't know what happened over here. I'm going to check Control F. Margot. I'm connected to 4 Margos. That's it. Only 4. Only got 4 Margos in my life, and you're one of them. I'm going to send you a message, Margot, on LinkedIn. Let's see if Margot's here. Let me find Margot. But first, I want to write this down. I'm going to say, here are the, I'll get to you, Margot. Here are the top 35 names of men that I am connected to on LinkedIn that represent over 6,000 of my connections. And I'm going to press Control Shift V. David, Michael, John. Okay, so I just did that. And ladies and gentlemen, I got to bounce, but I appreciate you guys being here with me. I'm going to press the mute button for just a second. I got to bounce, guys, but I'm curious to know, are you guys using Evie AI Pro? Because with Evie AI Pro, we teach you how to use this incredible dashboard. Glenn, it's good to see you in the comments. Margot, it's good to see you in the comments. I'm going to have to hop in just a few minutes because I have a call starting. Let me see when my next call is. I got a call starting, but I'm curious to know if you guys have any questions related to anything, related to LinkedIn, related to business, related to life. Let me know what questions you have. I'm always happy to answer questions in the chat. You can just write hello. You can write boom. You can write what's up. I see Michael's here. Margot's here. Glenn is here. We have a posting party on Monday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. I hope you can join. We have a LinkedIn Influencer Summit at 2 p.m. InfluencerSummit2025.com. I don't know if you guys are familiar or not with the Influencer Summit. I'm going to click on chat overlay so you see whoosh, there's the chat overlay. So guys, Tell me what industry you guys are in the chat. Let me know what industry you guys are in the chat. I am going to click on captions. Let's see what I have in the captions here. What is one app you couldn't work without? Look at that. I'm going to drop a caption and just like that. I'm going to add a ticker. Let's see if we can add a ticker. www.influencersummit2025.com. Apply. Show. Let's show this. Oh, influencersummit2025.com. Look at that. I'm going to delete this right here. Hide. Screen share makes it easier to follow along, Michael says. I don't know. It's so great to see you. Screen share makes it follow along. Guys, what is your goal when it comes to using LinkedIn? What is your goal? What are you trying to achieve? It looks like Michael says tech firms and firearms. Tech firms and firearms. Interesting. Would love to learn more about that. What do you do with tech firms and firearms? And I'm curious to know, are you watching me live on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn? Where are you watching me live? Some of you are on LinkedIn, some of you are on Facebook, some of you are on YouTube. People find me from all over the place. So tell me where you're at. I'm going to drink some water. Yeah, no, that's a lot of Michaels. I should do this. I'm going to do the same thing with Davids. I'm going to check all the Davids, but I'm also going to include the Daves. And I'm also going to, so for Michaels, I should have included the different variations. Michael spelled Michael or an EAL and Mikel and Mike and Mikel, all the different Michael variations. I should check. Michael said he's live on LinkedIn. Glenn said he's live on LinkedIn. Yeah, look, I used to be, like one of the things that I used to be kind of like wary of is like being on LinkedIn and showing up and not getting enough engagement on a post. Now I really don't care. I mean, of course, I want people to engage with my content. I want people to like it. I want people to comment on it. But I'm not afraid of not getting any engagement. I'm not afraid of showing up and just talking to Michael and Glenn and Margot. That's it. That's good enough for me. I used to think if I didn't have a crowd of 30, 40, 50 people, that it wouldn't be good, that it would be a waste of time. But I do believe truly in my heart that talking to one person and you guys communicating with me, or talking to nobody and just sharing whatever I want to share, is good. Because ultimately, people can catch a replay. I am coming up with new ideas as we're chatting. I came up with the whole mention saver concept because I chatted with two people on LinkedIn Live. Just two people on LinkedIn Live. I came up with this whole mention saver feature for EviAI, which is a complete and total game changer for it. So I see somebody just liked my post. Penny liked my post. So I'm on my phone. I have my phone like over here on this little thing here. So I'll show you guys my phone right here. You see? I'll show you. So I have my phone right over here like this. And then I can just be on my phone too. So I can see what's going on my phone while I'm on the computer. I should really have like a little like another laptop over here, like on this side here. And you get, so look how cool this is. You see, I can open that up and I can take a picture of me. Oh, I can take a picture of me and then show you the picture. I can post the picture. I'm going to close this up like this. We don't need that to be open. And I do want to get a new case because this is kind of like slippery. See the way this is moving like that? So annoying. What app am I using to broadcast? I'm using an app called Restream.io, Glenn. That's the one that I'm using. How are you? So I just sent a message that says, how are you? All right, let's see what else I have going on. I'm tapping on the screen to just see what else you guys are talking about here. Okay, so Penny liked my post. Guys, how many do you guys know how to check how many Michaels you're connected to? So click on My Network and then type in Michael and see how many Michaels show up there. Another way to do it is just to search Michael in the top results. I have a client looking to hire an awesome community manager that is skilled with LinkedIn and all the platforms. Do you happen to know anyone? I also need someone to help me with AI for my face reading course. Any suggestions? What is your client's budget? My team can definitely help you with artificial intelligence for your face reading course. But if you're looking for an administrative assistant, I would recommend starting to interview people. Ask your client if he's looking for somebody that's like $20 an hour or more or less. Are you available to chat with my team today? So, yeah, having a LinkedIn connections dashboard could be really useful for helping you segment all your connections. With Evie AI, one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to help be able to segment all of your connections using artificial intelligence. So you're not going to have to do it yourself. Like AI is going to help you take all your connections. Let's say you have thousands of connections, and it'll be able to help you segment all of them. I love that I can take an approach of like not worry about being like on the entire time. Like the new way to stream is not to just present and put pressure on people. Like you want to listen in just like you'd be in my office listening in to whatever conversation we're having, right? Imagine you're on your computer doing your thing, I'm on my computer doing my thing, and we're having a conversation. And if you want to see what I'm up to, you just look over at my computer. If you want to just do whatever you do, you could just do whatever you do. Like it doesn't really make a difference. Tomorrow 10 PT. Okay. What app are you using? Let's see what else you guys are asking me here. So, are you guys wondering about LinkedIn? Are you wondering with anything related to LinkedIn? Is there anything that you're like wondering about? Like, oh, how do we do this? How do we do that? Anything that's like concerning you or anything that you wonder about when you think of LinkedIn? Let me know in the chat if there's anything specific that you guys are just wondering about. Because if there's something that you want to learn, I'm happy to teach you, guide you, support you. Let's see. I could be on LinkedIn Live on my phone and on my computer at the same time, but I can't see the comments on my phone to be able to respond to them. That's crazy. I can see all the chats. I am using LinkedIn Live right now. Glenn said yes. Are you ready for the dashboard? I'm going to say great. And let's just see how many messages I sent out. Wow, I sent a lot of messages to a lot of Kimberlys. There's a lot of Kimberlys, received a lot of my messages. That's a crazy amount of Kimberlys. Okay, Sammy said Perplexity AI more than Google. Chat is more task driven. Just in case you were wondering, I'm on LinkedIn Live right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been fun. I'm curious to know if you guys would join something called the the Influencer Summit Network. Glenn said the hardest thing about LinkedIn for me is not the technical aspects, but the human connection aspect. I need to connect with people that have a conversation, but people have such sales resistance. Oh my God, I love that, Glenn. I absolutely love that. You know what I want to do is I want to bring you on right now. I want to bring you, if you want to chat with me about this right now, let me send you a link. That would be fun for us to talk about that. Let me see if I can bring you on live right now. And if you guys want to join live, say, I want to go live right now, and I'll send you a link to Restream if you're by your computer and you want to join me live right now on my Restream. You'll be streaming on this stream right now. If you're interested, say, I want to go live, or send me a DM, say, send me the Restream link, and then I'll add you to the Restream. I've never done this before, but I don't know. I just thought of an idea. I thought of an idea, and I just take action, just like that. So I love his question. I love this question. I'm going to put it in there. He said, the hardest thing about LinkedIn for me is not the technical aspects, but the human connection aspect. I need to connect with people and have a conversation, but people have such sales resistance. People typically have sales resistance to sales. People have sales resistance to people that they don't know, they don't like, and they don't trust. If you get people to know you, like you, and trust you, and we teach this in the Evergreen networking system, we teach you how to get people to know you, like you, and trust you, then there's no resistance there because you're not trying to sell them anything. And you truly shouldn't be trying to sell people things because people hate to be sold. People love to buy when you have a solution for their problem, but they hate to feel like they're being sold because it's a form of abuse. It's a form of manipulation. It's a form of control, getting people to do something that they don't really want to do or they don't believe has the value. Think about that for just a moment. Think about it. Is it valuable for you to be able to learn how to build a real relationship with someone? A real relationship. And what does it take to really build a real relationship? There are stages that people go through. If you meet somebody in person, you can hop over many of those stages and really get to know someone deeply because you're getting to know them on a spiritual level, on an energetic level. I want you to consider that for a moment. The hardest thing about LinkedIn for a lot of people is the technical part. But what people don't realize is that it's not about the tool. You could use Facebook and get the same results. You could use Twitter, get the same results. You can use other platforms. It's about the strategy. The right strategy will save you a decade. Most people are just spraying and praying, hoping for the best. Hope is a great thing. It's just not a great strategy. So I do recommend that you consider your strategy, Glenn. What is the strategy that's going to help you be able to achieve what you want to achieve? I'm going to go here and just check to see if you got my message. Let me know if you want to join me live. Okay. Interesting, right? I'm also going to pop it in the cruise thing. I'm going to pop it in right here, and I'm going to say, I am live. Cruise. Marketing is cruise. Boom. Oh, look at that. Glenn's live with me. And I'm going to say the following. I'm currently on LinkedIn Live, and if you want to join my live stream, I have room for a couple of people. I'm going to be on for another 30 minutes or so, having a conversation with some of my connections. All right, here we go. Turn on Glenn. Hello, Glenn. I love your question so much. I think you might have to connect your camera and your audio. Glenn. Oh, it looks like he turned it off. I'm going to try to turn it back on for him. There you go.
Hey,
You are live
how are you?
on LinkedIn.
Yeah, that
You're
was cool.
famous. It's me and you watching ourselves.
Well, I was watching you before I was watching both of us. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. So I prepared a LinkedIn connections dashboard for you because you submitted the form over there.
Right.
This is specifically for Evie AI Pro users. So when people upgrade from Premium to Pro, we create a dashboard for them, and then we teach them inside our community in our course exactly how to be able to use the dashboard to be able to recognize, strategize, and prioritize their connections. Because, I know that you have 3,600 plus connections, right?
Right.
So it could be really hard for you to be able to properly segment your connections in a meaningful way.
Right.
And so making sure that you have the right strategy to properly segment your connections will allow you to be able to ultimately build a relationship with the right people and help you be able to connect with people in a meaningful way, because people don't want to be sold. People hate to be sold,
Right.
but they love to buy. So if you can really get behind what people really want, then and understanding people, and not everybody wants to have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody wants to chat. Not everybody wants to network. Not everybody wants. Not everybody has problems that they want to be solved. Some people are just happy. They're just like, listen, I'm retired. I'm happy. I'm just here as a voyeur to watch. I'm here
Yeah.
as a lurker to look.
Some people don't know they have a problem.
Some people don't know they have a problem. But if you're trying to tell people that they don't know they have a problem, that they have a problem,
It's
you're
sales.
probably not going to make a lot of sales.
Right. It's too.
The best place to go is where the crowd is hungry if you're going to sell hot dogs, because then you don't need the best hot dog. You're going to sell out, even if your hot dogs are the worst hot dogs, because you have a hungry crowd. And a hungry crowd means they know that they're hungry. They know what's going on. Your goal is to set up shop where the crowd is hungry, or set up bait so that the hungry people come to you,
Mm-hmm.
and then try to have conversations with people to identify who's actually hungry,
Right.
without trying to convince people that are not hungry to be hungry.
Right.
Or maybe you are hungry and you just don't know.
Right. Until you smell the food.
You can smell the food. So sometimes, like I'm doing LinkedIn Live right now with you, I'm making people smell the food and making them realize, oh my God, they're like, you know what? I really need a connections dashboard. I
Mhm.
really need an assistant to help me with AI. I really need support. I really need to attend the sessions or come to the Influencer Summit 2025 to learn what's working on LinkedIn right these days. And once they can smell the food, because I decided to cook on LinkedIn where the
Mhm.
people are,
Mhm.
then that gets me more opportunities. People like it, people comment on it,
Right.
people engage.
And when I said it's the hardest thing for me, it's something I know. I know what you're saying is true. I know what you're saying is right. It's just the time and it's the effort, and that's where Evie AI has been a big help to me in the last couple months. I joined. I did Evie AI Pro in December, and I didn't get into it real heavy, but January and February now I'm learning and trying to use Evie AI every day to make comments on people's posts and interact with people. And so I'm definitely in the learning mode, but I get what you're saying. And it's just the time and effort. And I see, all the time and effort that you've put in over the years, and you've built this tremendous network, and it's great. And I really admire you for that. But you have to accelerate the process, and Evie AI is one of the ways to accelerate the process.
I agree. And thank you for being a pro member of Evie AI. And thank you for upgrading from premium to pro and being a long term client. For me, one of the most exciting things in my life is to be able to help people
Right.
find the right strategy to be able to get there faster. And using Evie AI, you can get there faster rather than just waiting. My mother in the Lower East Side waited for people to come. She just sat there and waited.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually she went out of business. Initially, people came because there were tourists. But when 9/11 came, all the tourists stopped coming. She got behind on her rent very quickly. And there's, things hit the fan and it wasn't working anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And at a certain point, she was too much in debt for her to even be able to get out of it. And it just was so much stress on her and she couldn't take it anymore. So she decided to close the business down. and she decided to go do real estate in Florida. She moved to Florida. She's doing real estate now, and she's about to close a very, very, very big successful deal.
Awesome.
After doing it for 20 years and some years making money, some years not making money, she finally took a more strategic approach, and now she's potentially going to close a deal that's going to make her whole career. So
Right.
it's just interesting to see how overnight success is 20 years in the making,
Yep.
and building those relationships takes time. You walk into a room and you meet somebody for the first time, you're not going to build a family with them all of a sudden. It takes time to kind of get to know someone, to date them, to build a family. And for some people, it's really frustrating because they expect it to go faster.
Yeah. Well, it's always a desire for things to go faster, and sometimes you just have to have patience.
It's always a desire for certain things to go faster if you believe faster is better. But what
Yeah.
if slower was better?
Yeah, you might get better deals. Like your mother might get a better deal because she has that experience of going slow.
But sometimes, like, just enjoying the journey. Like, if you're truly enjoying the journey,
Hmm.
slower can be good too.
Right.
Like, if you really enjoy the path of getting from where you are to where you need to be, let's say 100K new profit in your business
Hmm.
in
Hmm.
2025, right? Let's say from December till December, you want to generate 100K new profit.
Hmm.
How many clients will it take you in your business, Glenn, to generate 100K in profit?
Um, I'm in employee benefits, and so it just depends on the size of the company. I mean, 10 companies who are 1,000 employees each, would get me there. But I'm probably not going to get 10 companies that are 1,000. I'll probably get 100 companies that are 50 each.
Right. So if you have 100 companies that are 50 each, then
Yep.
you're good to go, right?
Yep.
And then what does it take for someone to get from a cold prospect to want to do their employee benefits with you?
So I offer an add-on benefit. It's called a bolt-on benefit. So it's a wellness program that can be added to any employee benefit package. So I don't do health insurance or dental or vision. I'm not a major medical benefit provider. I offer a bolt-on wellness program. So it's an additional offer to their existing benefits. So a lot of times I get resistance of, I already got my benefits squared away. I don't really need anything more. It's not something I really want to add. But this wellness program literally can save the business money, not cost the business. So there's a lot of ins and outs to it. So it's a matter of explaining it correctly and getting them to understand the concept of, it's an education process of getting them to understand the concept that this is not going to cost your company. It's going to save your company money.
So how do you tell that story to somebody? How do you tell the story correctly where people don't have that sales resistance?
So if I can get somebody to listen, generally they go, "Wow, that's a great idea," but it's just that initial,
So
no,
why
I'm,
would somebody want to listen to you?
well, there's the benefit to the company, to the employer.
Yeah, but let's forget about all that. That's
Yeah.
once they're listening to you. Well, why
Right.
would somebody want to listen to you? Forget about the benefit that you offer and how
Sure.
good you are and
Sure.
all the pain that they didn't know they didn't have. Let's forget
Right.
about that.
Right.
Let's talk about human beings.
Right.
If you show up at my door today and you ring my bell and I'm
Uh-huh.
busy doing something else, and
Right.
I go ahead and open the door and I only have about 30 seconds or 15 seconds of time to give you attention,
Hmm.
let me ask you a question. Why would I not slam that door as hard as possible and lock it? Why?
Hmm. That's the $100,000 question right there, right? That's the if
Want me to
you
tell
can,
you the answer?
yeah.
Relevance,
Hmm.
rapport,
Right.
personalization. If you know that I only showed up to your house and you were the only house I showed up to and I was only there for you,
Hmm.
and I knew a lot about you, and I wasn't just going to leave, I was going to hang out and park outside your house till you're ready to speak to me. At some point, you're going to walk out of your house, come in, and say, "What do you want?"
Hmm.
Or bring me cookies.
Yeah. Right.
You understand what I'm saying? There's a difference between me just showing up to your house
Hmm.
and then me going to the neighbor and to the neighbor and to the neighbor and to the neighbor and to the
Right.
neighbor which is what some people prefer to do, but I don't think that that approach works very well on social media.
Right.
That's called
I'm a
spraying and praying.
very empathetic person, and so I'm a very, I really care about people. I really care about businesses. I really care about how my product can help them, not just making a sale.
But
So,
don't think about how your product can help them. That's
mhm,
not where I want you to be thinking.
right,
I want you to be thinking is who is this person and what do they really want outside of my product or service?
right,
That's a different level of connection.
yeah,
So if I connect with you with who is Glenn is different than I connect with you with how can I get money out of Glenn or get money in Glenn's hand.
right,
A guy called me up recently and he said, "Joe, I want to make you a lot of money." And I was like, "Who said I want a lot of money?"
yeah,
He's like, "Who doesn't want a lot of money?" I
mhm,
said, "Who said I don't already have a lot of money?"
right,
I said, "Maybe I want a lot of time." Maybe I want a massage. He's
right,
like, "I don't provide massages." I was like, "Just because you don't provide massages, it doesn't mean that you can't massage me mentally."
mhm.
He's like, "That's an interesting." He's like, "I really like you." I was like, "If you like me, you're gonna love Evie AI."
So, you obviously, if you can discover a pain point, and
But that's a tactic.
it's a sales tactic, yeah.
We're not going to sales yet.
But
You don't have
it
permission
is
to sell
it
yet.
is also a personal. I mean, if that person has a problem, an issue that they're trying to deal with,
What if
in
they
their,
don't have a problem?
yeah, well, then, it's about discovering what the problem
What
is, or
about connecting
yeah,
without discovering, just
yeah,
connecting?
connecting as a person.
Just being a human being. You just show up, you call up, they
Yep.
pick up the phone. There's 300 million people in the United States.
Uh-huh.
There's let's say 200 million of them or 100, let's call it 100 million of them are on LinkedIn that are active. So let's say 50 million of them. Let's
Mhm.
say a million of them are your target client.
Right.
How many of them are you actually connected to that are your target client? We can go through your connections dashboard together and identify the ones you actually recognize,
Right.
the ones that are strategic. How many of them have more than 50 employees? And then you simply say happy birthday and they
Mhm.
respond, "Wow, thank you so much."
Right.
And then you say, "Doing anything special?"
Yep.
And then they say, "Yeah, I'm going fishing." He's like, "Oh my God, I'd love to learn more about what type of fishing you do. Would you like to hop on a quick get to know you call?" And then
Mhm.
you hop on a quick get to know you call. And then before you know it, you guys are sharing stories about whatever. And
Mhm.
then you say, "By the way, can I just tell you what I just did for another company that has 50 employees?"
Mhm.
And the guy's like, "Sure, tell me." And I said, "They thought that blah, 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 but I ended up saving them tons of money." And they're
Mhm.
like, "Oh my God, that's great." He's like, "Can you do it for my company?" You're like, "I'm not sure. How many employees do you have?" He's like, "I have 72." I was like, "I think I might be able to help you. Let's have a conversation so I can explore more. But in the meantime, let me ask you a question. What was your dessert on your birthday?" And you just have a regular conversation, which you would have with anybody else. Just so happens that the guy has 72 employees.
Right.
So when you're building friendships on LinkedIn, you're not just spraying and praying. You're only looking for 100 new customers this year. You're not looking for 1,000, 10,000,
Right.
20,000, 100,000. So if you're looking for 100 new customers, you just have to have 1,000 conversations
Right.
with people that are either in the position to hire you or
Mhm.
people that are in the position to refer you.
Right.
And if you have 1,000 conversations this year, you're going to get very close to that $100,000 profit goal, if not exceed it. I know it because I did it last year and the year before, and the year before that, and the
Mhm.
year before that, and the year before that, and the year before that. And that's how I built a multi-million-dollar business that has sustained me and my children for the
Mhm.
past 15 years.
Right.
And that's how I got my first 1,000 customers at Evie AI. By
Mhm.
just having what we're doing right now. We're doing this. Maybe there's a crowd watching. Maybe there isn't a crowd watching. I don't know. That doesn't matter. That's not the
Mhm.
point. The point is that me and you are having a real conversation, and I'm
Right.
training you, educating you, mentoring you, coaching you, guiding you, and showing you the things that have worked for me. That often, when people have desperation, and your prospects can feel the desperation in your breath.
Right.
It's called desperation breath. They feel that you're just trying to get something out of them and they're sick of it.
Yeah.
They're sick of
That's right.
people just trying to milk them for their milk. You can have my milk, but cuddle up with me first. I'll give you some of my milk,
Uh-huh.
but come over to me. Show me that you care about me, even though we all know
Sure.
you don't.
Sure.
Like fake it till you make it. Role play with me a little bit.
Right.
Tap into my fantasy and make believe that we're friends for a little bit,
Hmm.
because that's what I want. That's what I need in order for me to give you some of my milk.
Right.
And then they give you the milk and you realize, oh my God, I really like the taste of this milk. I'm actually going to become friends with this person.
Hmm.
And you actually like them and you like their values and you like who they are. And now suddenly you have friends. Now you don't have clients anymore. Now you have friends.
Right.
I walked onto a cruise with 4,000 people.
That was awesome.
4,000 people.
Hmm.
Many of them had lots of employees. I actually met a guy from Ford. He has
Hmm.
10,000 employees he oversees in Ford.
Right. Yeah.
That guy wasn't even part of our marketers cruise. He was just some
Mhm.
rando.
I wonder how he felt about being on a cruise with 4,000 marketers.
Well, there were 400 marketers, 4,000 of people that were
Oh,
just not
4,000.
marketers.
Yeah.
So a small percentage of the people were actually the marketers. But the
Mhm.
crazy thing about it is that I walked out with 100 friends,
Mhm.
100 people that I can call on their cell phone right now and just have a conversation with them and ask them how they're doing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You can't do that anywhere else, but you can do that on LinkedIn. You can walk into LinkedIn where there are a billion people, identify the right 1,000,
Mhm.
connect with them, learn about them, get on the phone with them. And then, even just in our community, if you go to school.com/EviAI
Right.
and you look through who's in the community, you're going to see right away, these are people that want to chat with you.
Yep.
If you come to the posting party at Monday at 10 a.m., you're going to see there are real people there that really want to connect with you and really want to refer business to you.
Right.
But they have to see your business networking one sheet and they have to have a one-on-one with you and they have to get to know you, because otherwise it's not going to work.
Mhm.
That's the idea. And for me, I'm not looking for the masses. I'm also looking for companies that have 1,000 employees.
Mhm.
I just need 2 of them to get to my goal.
Mhm.
But not just any employees, sales reps. So if I got 2 companies that each had 1,000 sales reps and they
Mhm.
signed up to EviAI Pro, I'd be at my goal for the year.
Yeah.
And I could rest. Don't you think that if I speak to 1,000 people this year, I'm not going to be able to find 2 of those types of clients, or maybe 20 clients that each have 100,
Yep.
or maybe 40 clients that each have 50,
Yeah.
or maybe 80 clients that each have 25, or any
Yep.
denomination of that?
I hear you. I get it. These are real people with real lives, with, and they're looking for real connection.
Real connection, not just BS.
Hmm.
Real connection. Janet said, I like you whether you give me some milk or not. You see that a real relationship can say that. You see that a
Mhm.
real person that that you're connecting to, that gets to know. I used to be so inauthentic on social media.
Yeah.
I used to be afraid of just sharing who I was because I thought people would judge me. Now I know people will judge me.
Hmm.
And I'm leaning into the judgment. Like, if you don't like this, don't suck the milk. If you like chocolate milk, go get chocolate milk. If you like
Mhm.
Coca-Cola, go get Coca-Cola. I am Mojo. That's what I give. I give the
Mhm.
Mojo love, the
Right.
connection, this is who I am. I show up as I am. If you show up as you are, the people who love you will lean into it, and the people who hate you will back off of it.
Right. There are 1,000 different LinkedIn coaches, trainers, people with courses, people who offer one-to-ones or group education. I've never seen any coach on LinkedIn like you, Joe. I've you are completely different, and that's what attracted me to you.
Yeah, and
Um,
what's different
because of
about my approach than the other coaches that you've experienced in the past?
your approach is authentic. Your approach is real. Your approach is not buy my course. It is basically, I'm here to help. How can I help?
The thing about it, Glenn, is like, I get the coaches that just want to sell you a course. I get
Hmm.
it, because a lot of them are broke. They don't have any money. If they don't sell you a course, their kids are not eating.
Right.
Whether you use the course or not, they need the money.
Yeah.
Some of them are in debt.
And sometimes that works for them. Sometimes they do get people who buy their courses.
But I'm not looking for people to buy courses from me.
Hmm.
I'm looking to build real connections,
Hmm.
real relationships, and I'm looking to build a community
Right.
of 1,000 engaged LinkedIn users. People,
Yep.
1,000 people, and it's going to take a while. It doesn't just take one day to bring in 1,000 people that are like you, that are real, authentic human beings that want to build a relationship, that want to
Mhm.
get to know you, that show up to the events, that actually leave comments, that actually are willing to get on video and like
Mhm.
talk about themselves
Yep.
and like be real.
Yep.
Nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care.
Right.
And caring means being interested, like really being interested. So if you have 3,600 connections, I sent you the spreadsheet in the chat in the DM. You can go through those 3,600 and just do what I did in the video, which is just put a column that says recognize and just write
Mhm.
yes by the ones that you recognize. Going through 3,600, you saw me go through 500.
Mhm.
Maybe took me 10, 15 minutes. Maybe. I don't think it even took me that long. But let's just say you scan through it. If you're not sure, you just skip it, keep going through it. You can go through the list a few times if you want. But it would take you, let's say, max an hour to go through your list of all 3,600 connections and
Mhm.
identify who are the yeses and who's strategic. And you do this one time, and then you filter it out and you say, okay, that's my hit list. I'm going through the people that I already know.
Right.
And once you're done with the people that you already know and that are strategic, you go through the people that you don't know that are
Mhm.
strategic. And then you start hitting those people up. And then
Yeah.
before you know it, you went through all of your connections. And now you're like, wow, it's time to add more connections. You can add 90% more connections than you have. You know that?
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
can have
I've
30,000
added
connections.
I've added 1,000 connections in the last 6 months or so,
Amazing.
and I've got, another almost 2,000 that I've sent a connection request to, and they haven't replied. Um, so,
It's
but
normal. A percentage of people are not going to
yeah,
reply.
yeah. So I'm actively trying to build my connection list and then, target people who I wanna make real connections with.
And so getting those people on the phone, telling them about the influencer summit, telling them about posting parties that you're going to, telling them about things that might interest them,
Right.
making sure that you save them into lists in Evie AI and that you leave comments on their posts regularly.
Mhm.
Even just going through all of my posts in the past week, 1 week, go
Mhm.
through all of my posts that I posted in the past week, read them and leave a comment. That will get you exposure to your own connections.
Right.
Just like literally, if you go through my posts, you save me into Evie AI, you hit see my recent posts, and you just go through. I don't care. Leave comments on every post I've ever had. I don't care. As
Mhm.
many comments as you want. You can leave 7 comments on my post if you want. But if
Right.
you go through my previous week's posts or my previous month's posts, everything I did in 2025, and you just go through it, you're gonna learn so much because I drop so much knowledge
Mhm.
into every post that I put up. I don't just randomly throw a post out there. I think it through and I share experience, stories, knowledge, information, and you could literally copy what I did, but for
Mhm.
your industry.
Right.
Like I posted a selfie of me and one of my connections, literally just a selfie, a picture of me and her.
Uh-huh.
And then I wrote there, when is the best time to post? And then I said, anytime,
Anytime I saw that one.
anytime. And then I said, just post already and stop overthinking it. Tell me which one of these ideas you're going to use. Here are 20 post ideas.
Mhm.
And then I wrote, post a selfie with someone you care about. I said, post a text only Q&A. Post a question that relates to your expertise. Post a poll, like a LinkedIn poll, a survey. Post something that you're grateful for. Post a simple tutorial. Post a screenshot of a website. And by the way, I misspelled some of the words. I was just typing and I was just like, just going with ideas. I love generating ideas.
Mhm.
I have AI. I can generate a million ideas with AI, but I love when I come up with the ideas
Right.
and then AI can help me optimize it. So, sometimes I'll use AI and sometimes I just won't. It depends on my mood. If I want to post something, I don't have the emotional capability or the time to do it, I'll just push a button with AI. I'll talk to you. So the way I put the microphone in Evie AI and I just spoke. Then I
Mhm.
hit generate. It generates a beautiful post based on what I said. I
Mhm.
just post that. That's what I
Right.
just did before. You saw
Right.
me post a screenshot with the Michaels.
Yep.
That post already has let's see, 124 people already saw it in the past 40 minutes.
Cool.
Think about that. 1,000 people will see that post.
Mhm.
1,000 people will see that. Like, think about the power that someone has when they're able to influence 1,000 people with an idea, with a question, with an inspiration, with something powerful like that. Think about
Right.
that.
Right.
Or even 100 people, or even 10 people. Like, where do you have the ability for you to show up and 10 people are there?
Hmm.
Like, if 10 people were watching this right now, or 10 people watch this, I mean, I'm going through this right now just to kind of see how many people are watching. I can't really tell because I don't really know. I know that Janet was here before. But if I click on the LinkedIn Live right now and I load it live, it shows me there's a bunch of people watching. Do I really know if a bunch of people are watching? I don't know. I don't know if people are really watching or not. But it doesn't really matter because building a relationship takes time.
Right. I appreciate you taking some time with me this morning. That's valuable to me.
I appreciate you sharing that. I'm really glad that you were able to join. How often do you log into the school community?
Um, I'm I've got a tab open to the school community is always open.
Oh, cool.
So I don't log in, log out. It's just always that I'm always logged in.
Did you see that I posted a tutorial on how to find people's email addresses?
Yeah. I did not watch the tutorial, but I saw you posted it.
So people are constantly posting things. So, for example, Dietrich said, I made a post below, and I'm asking if you can send this poll to females in your life,
Yep, saw that one.
from Dietrich. And so all I have to do is just click yes, I'm happy to do that. And then boom, I just send it off to the females in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Green said, Monday 2/17, who's in? He wants to do a event
Oh, right.
about templates.
Yep.
Yeah, that came from our last session, our last onboarding session.
Right. I was on that onboarding session.
Yeah. So I'm going to check the 17th. It's Monday. He wants to do it, I think he said 2 p.m. I'm going, let's see, 2 p.m. I think I should be available then. Yeah, I'm actually flying on the 17th back to New Jersey. Oh, he said 4 p.m. ET, which is like what, 1 p.m.?
Yeah.
1 p.m. Pacific. Let's see. I'll probably be going to the airport. I have a call with Doug at that point. I have a call with this guy named Doug.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm happy for him to host an event.
Yeah.
So yeah, I appreciate getting on the phone with you, chatting with you, learning more about you. What's one thing you want to share with the world? If I was going to feature you and you were going to share something, what would be one thing you would want to share with the world?
I have a large experience with dealing with people. I've been in sales for almost all my life, but I've always approached sales from an educational point of view where I really try to determine personally what the person is looking for or what they need and how I can fulfill that need. So I don't just push a product. I basically want to figure out, like you were talking about, who the person is and who the connection is, and then find out what their needs are and how I can help. I am definitely a servant leader and want to help people.
And what are some ways that you typically help people? What are the resources that you have, or the skills and the knowledge of how you help people?
So like you, I've spent the last 20 years in digital marketing. So I built my first website in 2000. I started my first web design company in 2003. And then I began working with businesses doing SEO in 2009. And I've worked basically for the last 20 years helping businesses succeed. So as I've gotten older in life, I have found that I do not want to do the digital marketing aspect of it anymore. I still have my digital marketing company. I still have my digital marketing customers, but I made a pivot into employee benefits. I found a product that I'm passionate about. And so I have a vast experience, professional experience, both corporate and entrepreneurial, working with people and helping businesses succeed.
I love that. Where did we originally meet?
On LinkedIn.
Cool.
So
Isn't that crazy?
I ignored LinkedIn, because I was in the digital marketing space. I really didn't everybody on LinkedIn that ever wanted to connect with me was somebody from India or Pakistan or overseas somewhere that wanted to help me, right? And like you said before, what makes you think I need help? Why do you think that I need help? I've done this for a long time. I know what I'm doing. And I didn't want to outsource. I didn't want to outsource anything. So, but as I transitioned into this new venture of mine, I started getting active on LinkedIn. I did hire a coach who charged me $500 a month and set up an automated messaging connection system. And I did it for a couple of months, and it was a complete disaster and didn't work. So I began looking for other trainings, lessons, coaches, courses, and I came across you, Joe, and your approach. And I watched a few of your videos, and the care, the concern, the compassion really came through. I really saw that you care about people. You're not just pushing a product. So I jumped on the Evie AI free version first, then signed up for premium, and then upgraded to pro. And I love the tool that you've made. I love how it simplifies and makes everything so easy to just make those connections with people. And so that's where I'm at. I'm just working LinkedIn, making connections, trying to make real connections, not just, stack up a list of people that I can sell to or that I can contact, but actually make real connections and connect with people online.
That's what it's all about. It's all about the real relationships. And if you had 1,000 people that were real relationships, there's nothing in the world that you can't accomplish. 1,000 people that were real people that know you, like you, and trust you.
Those 1,000 people know 1,000 people.
And that's how you hit 1 million people. So 1,000 times 1,000 is 1 million. It's just very powerful, especially if they're all engaged on LinkedIn and they know who you are, and they're happily able to message you and connect with you and build relationships with you. That's such a powerful thing. So thank you for being here with me today, Janet. Thank you for your comments. Appreciate you. And I'm looking forward to seeing all you guys online, and we'll see you Monday. I'll probably be back on LinkedIn Live very soon. I just have to take care of a few things, a couple calls I need to make. So I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it.